どうしたって消せない夢も止まれないまま誰かのために強くなれるなら何度でも立ち上がれ
Binyan Nightclub. As night falls, the city's most luxurious nightclubs begin their lively nightlife. Xiaosu, please deliver the wine that room 606 requested as soon as possible. In order to earn more money to treat Xiaoyuan's illness, Su Jinhuan had to give up his comfortable and stable copywriting job and sell alcohol in a nightclub. The foreman, Sister Xia, handed her a dozen expensive foreign wines and said, "The people inside are all rich second generation. If you serve them well, you will definitely get a lot of tips." Thank you, Sister Xia. Su Jinhuan took the wine, feeling very grateful. Sister Xia is a very nice person. Knowing that I came to work in the nightclub because of my brother's illness, she often took care of me. She took the wine and hurried to room 606. Hello, your wine has arrived. There were about 10 people, both men and women, in the large and spacious box. The shining spotlights and the thick smoke made it impossible for her to identify the people inside. They were having a great time. A hook! Strong smell of cigarettes and alcohol. As soon as she stepped in, she was almost choked by the strong smell of cigarettes and alcohol. She resisted the urge to cough, walked to the table and put the wine on it. Better put down the wine and leave. Su Jinhuan squatted down and placed the wine in place. Just as she stood up, suddenly a pair of arms hugged her from behind and a strong smell of alcohol immediately assaulted her. She was secretly surprised and immediately bent her elbows and pushed back hard. Ah! Her elbow just hit the man's vitals and he immediately let out a terrible scream. The others, who were singing and dancing wildly, stopped immediately. Zhou Xiao steadied his steps, stared at Su Jinhuan fiercely and said with gritted teeth, "Are you new here? Do you know what's going on? Don't you want to be here anymore?" Su Jinhuan narrowed her beautiful eyes. She didn't want to cause trouble, so she said calmly, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I apologize to you." "We can't let him make things worse." "Yo, what do you think Zhou Xiao is?" Suddenly, a familiar voice sounded, with a gloating tone in the voice. "Just saying sorry will do?" Looking at Su Qingwan, who was dressed revealingly, walking out of the crowd, Su Jinhuan's eyes were filled with a hint of coldness. "It's Su Qingwan. She is here too. Enemies often meet on a narrow road, and enemies become jealous of each other when they meet." Su Jinhuan lowered her eyelids and gently smoothed the wrinkles on her uniform without any fear on her face. "Sir, what do you want?" "Haha, what do I want?" Zhou Xiao took out a wad of money from his wallet and threw it hard. The colorful banknotes fell to the ground like flowers from heaven. He shouted fiercely, "My money accidentally fell. You have to help me pick it up one by one. Otherwise, you can't walk out of this door." Su Jinhuan's elbow wasn't very heavy, but losing face was a minor matter. "Also, you can't pick it up with your hands. You have to kneel on the ground. Like a dog picking up bones, pick up the banknotes one by one with your mouth." Su Qingwan showed a sinister smile on her face. Yes, this is good. Zhou Xiao and Qingwan have more ideas. Get down on your knees, pick up the money." Everyone immediately surrounded him and started to make a fuss. "Bitch, this day has finally come." Su Qingwan took out her cell phone and smiled ruthlessly. "I'm going to take a picture of your ugly appearance and show it to Huo Lichen to see if he still wants to pay attention to you. It seems like if I don't do something, there's no way I can get away with it tonight." Su Jinhuan narrowed her beautiful eyes, which were filled with chill, and glared at them coldly. "Ah! My cell phone!" Su Jinhuan's sharp eyes flashed, and he suddenly rushed forward and snatched the phone from Su Qingwan's hand. She was standing closest and most arrogant, and her long white fingers like onion roots pressed the emergency phone. Her clear voice was neither too loud nor too soft, just loud enough for everyone to hear. "Don't come over here or I will call the police immediately." Su Qingwan took out her cell phone to remind me that if I encounter danger, it is always right to call the police immediately. "Bitch, give me back my phone!" Su Qingwan yelled anxiously. "Whoever dares to come up, I will put this on your neck." Su Jinhuan held her phone in one hand and quickly picked up a bottle of wine with the other, smashing it hard on the table. With a bang, the glass bottle shattered. She held the sharp serrated neck of the bottle in her hand and pointed it at the person who rushed up to catch her. Those who wanted to rush up and grab her looked at the dangerous weapon in her hand, showed fear on their faces, and did not dare to act rashly. Her cold and bloodthirsty voice was filled with ruthlessness. You are all noble young masters and young ladies, but I am just a worthless person. I am not afraid of death. If you don't believe it, come and try it. Her beautiful eyes, bright as stars, were now filled with sinister intent. She's just talking. She doesn't dare. Go catch her and beat her to death, Su Qingwan yelled anxiously. They usually bullied people so badly, but now they have all become cowards. They are all useless. Oh, since you think I don't dare, then come over here. Don't harm others. Come here if you have the guts. Su Jinhuan pointed the bottleneck at her, and a mocking sneer rose on her exquisite and beautiful face. Su Qingwan, you are the one who screamed the loudest. Go and get your phone back. Zhou Xiao grabbed her arm and pushed her forward. No! The sharp glass teeth emitted an eerie, cold light under the lamp. Su Qingwan was so frightened that her face turned pale and her legs went weak. She shook her head vigorously in fear. She knew that Su Jinhuan was not a good person. Even a rabbit would bite when it was cornered, not to mention that she almost drowned her. You're useless. Zhou Xiao got angry and suddenly raised his hand and slapped her in the face. Ugh! Zhou Xiao slapped Su Qingwan very hard. Su Qingwan screamed and fell to the ground. She covered her face with her hands, tears pouring out. She cried and sobbed, but dared not say a word. There is not a single useful person. If you have the guts, don't let me see you again. Zhou Xiao angrily kicked over the table in front of him, and all the wine on it fell to the ground. The whole box was filled with a strong smell of alcohol, making people dizzy. He raised his middle finger to her and then left angrily. Let's go. The leader left, and of course the others followed suit. Hey, Su Qingwan! Su Jinhuan threw the phone in front of Su Qingwan and sneered contemptuously. Here's your phone. Get out of here. If you hang out with a bunch of playboys all the time, you'll run into trouble sooner or later. It's just a small lesson for her. Su Jinhuan, don't be so complacent. Sooner or later, I will teach you a lesson. Su Qingwan picked up the phone, quickly got up, and glared at her fiercely. I'm waiting. She has such a strong personality today, thanks to the training she received from her mother and daughter over the years. Su Qingwan snorted indignantly and ran out unwillingly. Finally, they all left. Su Jinhuan held onto her body and fell onto the sofa like a deflated ball, gasping for breath. Her forehead was covered with cold sweat. Looking back, I feel scared. They are more numerous and powerful, so I will definitely be at a disadvantage if I fought them head on. I have to tell Sister Xia about this later. I guess it will cause trouble for her. Whew! An unusually cold and powerful aura came from the door. Su Jinhuan looked up subconsciously, and her frightened eyes fell into the man's black eyes like a deep pool. In front of the box door, a tall and handsome man was wearing a noble and low-key custom-made suit. The well-cut suit made his body look taller and more slender. His black eyes were like deep pools, obscure and unclear, making it impossible to guess what he was thinking. Huo Lichen?